Hey everybody, this is Geneva of Geneva's Closet Talk Show. How you doing this fabulous, absolutely fabulous Friday? First of all, I would like to say hey to all of my subscribers, closet seekers, ladies in blue, and people that will sit there and watch and never once say anything. That's quite all right, people. You really don't have to say anything. And then I would also like to say, please make sure you like and share this video and subscribe to Geneva's Closet if you haven't already done so. And people, if you need to, feel free to email me at Geneva's Closet 22 at gmail.com. And don't forget, people, you can also follow me right here on Facebook over there at Geneva's Closet. Because 9 times out of 10, if you don't see me over here on YouTube, people, you can find me over there on Facebook. Now, let's get into the news. So today we are talking about, because this new thing came out yesterday with Mr. Darian Vince, this whole situation with MALEAH Davis. And this came out on Wednesday. It says Darian Vince's attorney files motion to withdraw as counsel. I'm pretty sure you heard about this. On Wednesday, Darian Vince's attorney filed a motion to withdraw as counsel. Vince is a suspect in the disappearance of 4-year-old MALEAH Davis, who has been missing for over 3 weeks, according to the court documents. Vince has failed to comply with terms of the employment agreement with his attorney. Payments have not been made. If the motion is approved, Vince may be represented by counsel of his choice and or by court appointed counsel. And then, okay, because then I found let's take that off right quick. Then I found the court document. Is that it? And there it go right there. So then let's see what this court document says. It says, now comes Thomas H. Burton III, MOVAT, and brings this motion to withdraw as counsel and in support thereof shows that MOVAT is attorney of record for Darian Marquise Vince and was retained to represent defendant. Defendant has failed to comply with the terms of the employment agreement with MOVAT, and the defendant and defendant's family have failed to make payments due under the contract. And then there is a fourth and a fifth one, and then basically the MOVAT prays that the court will grant his motion to withdraw on the face of his pleading. MOVAT requests that the court set matter for a hearing so that MOVAT may represent evidence in support of his motion. So basically, he wanted to be done with So when that whole thing came out, so I'm like, okay, so his lawyer don't want to be bothered with him no more. So now he's going to have to find another attorney. But then in the midst of that, I end up seeing this other article. Okay, let me find this other article right quick, because there's a few things, people, that I wanted to talk to you about and show you today. Shout out to all the subscribers and closet seekers that has been emailing me, Facebook DMing me, or sending me any messages any way you could to let me know about different things that you feel like I need to pay attention to. So this is coming from ABC 13. I didn't even tell you where the other one was coming from, but this is ABC 13. It says suspect's mother, so this is Darian Vince's mother, won't ask son for MALEAH Davis' whereabouts. So when I seen that heading, that title, I was like, what? It says, as investigators are still working to follow tips in the MALEAH Davis case, we are hearing from suspect's mother for the very first time. Darian Vince remains the only person charged in connection to 4-year-old MALEAH's disappearance. Wednesday, his mother testified during a CPS hearing, saying she has specifically avoided. Let me say that again. During a CPS hearing, Darian Vince's mother says that she has specifically avoided asking her son if he knows where MALEAH is. Pretty much, I don't understand that. Cameras were not allowed in court, but we called a slew of attorneys. MALEAH's mother, grandmother, and extended family all walking in for a very long hearing. It was during the hearing that we heard several new details regarding the girl's disappearance. Craig Davis, MALEAH's father, was in court. He claimed he tried to see his daughter on May 3rd, the night Vince claims she was kidnapped. Davis said he and his sister went to check in on MALEAH, but when they got to the family apartment, they say Vince would not let them see her, telling them she had the flu. When they asked if they could just get a look at her sleeping, Vince denied their request and would not let them come inside. Police say about an hour later, Vince claims he, MALEAH, and his 1-year-old son then got into a car to head to the airport. It was during that trip, we all heard this story, especially the people that has been following this case. We've heard the story several times, that he claims they were attacked and kidnapped by 3 Hispanic men. MALEAH's mother testified, saying after Vince was found at a Sugar Land hospital the next night, he gave her 2 different stories about how he got there. Surveillance video from police sources shows him being dropped off in the family car that was found abandoned in Missouri City days later. Now, wait a minute. Let me reread that part. Let me reread it. Because the thing about this whole MALEAH Davis case, and I'm just gonna keep it real. It's gonna be keep it pretty honest. And then I'm gonna finish reading this article. Is that because I was thinking about this a little earlier. I think it was probably a little bit easier. Okay, let's just go here. I think it was probably a little bit easier when it was just the news people reporting things, because you got things specifically from the news people. It wasn't so many different things coming from everywhere, but with the news people. Then you have bloggers, then you just got social media, then you have, people just putting up postings on their social media pages and giving out information. It's information literally coming from everywhere. From every which way, you're hearing different stories, and I didn't say that, I said this, and this is not what happened, this is what happened, and this is first party information, second party, third, fourth party information. Remember, at the beginning of this whole thing, Darion Vince's name was spelled Darion, and if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't until the interview that the YouTuber did with Darion Vince's father that we ended up finding out that it was Derion. But if I'm not mistaken, I had seen even before that interview where it was spelled differently certain places. So they couldn't even, and this is just the news people, they couldn't even get the name spelled right correctly. So let alone all the details, I'm just pretty sure it's going to be spread around everywhere. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I had thought that they said that when Darion Vince was dropped off at the hospital, he was dropped off in a whole nother car. Like, that's what I thought. But then reading this from ABC 13, it says that surveillance video from police sources, let me make sure I'm reading this correctly, shows him, Darion Vince, being dropped off in the family car that was found abandoned in Missouri City days later. So this is the car. So he was dropped off in that car. Because I thought that they said that he was dropped off in a whole nother car. So you see what I mean? So I don't know if y'all already knew, but okay, whatever. Here we go. Vince's mother also testified, saying she has only spoken to her son twice by phone since his arrest on May 11th. She hid from our cameras outside the courtroom, but inside court, she said in those phone calls, she has not asked her son for MALEAH's whereabouts. She says her son's defense attorney advised her not to bring it up. Alrighty, that's what she said. Now let's see what they say that he said. We reached out to that attorney, Tom Burton, who tells us her statement is basically not accurate. That's what he says not accurate. He also asked the judge to be removed from the case. Okay. Wednesday, because the family has not paid him. So he said, first of all, I didn't say that. Secondly, y'all ain't paying. Third, I don't even want to be bothered with this. A gag order on the CPS case is now preventing us from sharing other new details regarding that state investigation, because that's what we really want to know about. That's what we really want to know about. Because I've been speaking on this thing ever since, for the most part, since it happened. Just because, like I said, the whole 3 Hispanic men, that whole part of it just didn't make sense. But the more that I spoke about it, then we end up finding out about the head injuries and that CPS was involved. I was like, wait a minute. We need to find out what's going on with CPS. Like, because I blame them for this. If they would have been doing their job and doing what they were supposed to be doing, MALEAH wouldn't even been in the home in the first place. Or if they did place her back in there, they would have been doing random, because it said she was supposed to have random monthly checks on the home. I read that in some article, unless that was wrong too. Random monthly checks, when MALEAH came back home, but they never did it. Or at least they had no record of it being done. They ain't said nothing so far. So, really would like to know what had went on with the whole CPS thing, but nevertheless, that's what's going on with that whole thing and the mama. So, is that it as far as that? I think that's it as far as that. So, I'm sitting up there last night. I got to talk to y'all about this. This is about to basically be some gossip type of stuff. It's some real stuff, but man, girl, I'm sitting up there last night on social media being nosy, checking in on stuff as far as MALEAH Davis doing my investigation, because that's what we do. And then this is what I ran into. Remember that video? For the people that seen the video that I just did yesterday, so that means if you just checking in, all you got to do is this video, go back to the day before. And then the video right before. Remember at the end, the video that I showed y'all by leaku.com right here on YouTube, that YouTuber that showed the video of Brittany Bowen's friends speaking for her, because they did a Facebook Live video. And Brittany Bowen, she never came on camera. She's in the background, so-called, because I don't even really know if that was her, because I never seen her. Did you see her? I didn't see her. They said that was her in the background. I don't know her voice that well to tell if that was her voice in the background, but whatever. Yeah, she in the background speaking while they on the two friends answering people's questions on Facebook Live, and basically that was a bomb. It just went horrible. But, so, I'm sitting up there snooping, and then I see this particular, so don't y'all remember this girl that was the friend? Remember her? Because it was two friends. Remember this one? She the one that clicked off the video because she said she was done answering the questions, because she didn't like it and all of that. So, okay, y'all see the picture. Now, this is a posting of her. So, this is her. So, I actually did go on Facebook to check and verify that this was her actual page. So, her name is LeAsia Greer. That is her Facebook page. So, this is a posting she made May 7th. So, this is before this Facebook Live speaking for Brittany that just happened maybe about 2 days ago. I'm guessing maybe 2-3 days ago. She said, this doo-doo, I'm paraphrasing, I'm changing things, is going to effing far. I understand that everyone has their opinions on the stories that have been told, but half y'all that has so much to say, especially the negative doo-doo, which at this point is irrelevant, how many flyers have y'all printed or passed out to help bring MALEAH home? If this was any one of our kids, the only thing we will want the world to be focused on is helping find our kid. That's basically what she said. Now, that is something that I randomly seen, so I found that was important in the chronological order of how things then went. So then we see the Facebook Live she did 2-3 days ago. So now, I'm assuming this had to have been maybe Wednesday, Tuesday, I don't know. Right after that Facebook Live video she did the other day, bam, check this out. She says, I'm gonna do a live sometime today by my damn self. I understand to a certain degree why some of y'all feel the need to come for me, but let's clear something up. The doo-doo, let's clean something up. The stuff Quanell X said that was told to him by Brittany Bowens, I was not aware, so I'm pissed, that she put in all caps. She said that she was not aware of the things that Brittany Bowens, her friend, told Quanell X, so she pissed. So this is now after that live video. So then I see this. She said the live isn't a good idea, so I guess she rethought that live. And then she said, but I am removing myself away from her being her friend, Brittany Bowens, that she had just took up for a day or some ago doing that Facebook Live. saying that the people were asking stupid questions and stuff was irrelevant and who are you and what difference does it make who we are and all of this other stuff. Who just May 7th was saying that you people are going too hard and you ain't got your stuff to, and now she done heard some things, I guess, is making her change her way of thinking. But anyway, it goes on, people. So then there's a Facebook conversation. So I see this Facebook conversation. So then somebody say, what did I miss? And something like that. And then the Brittany Bowen's friend said, nothing. I just refuse to be in the middle anymore, especially seeing the interview with Quanell X. What? So now your friends is turning on you. Your friends is turning, Brittany. Your friends ain't believing you no more. So anyway, someone says to her, Quanell X is a liar and a fraud. So then LaAsia, the friend, then says, we don't know if he's lying because we wasn't in the car. Now, I'm assuming the car, meaning that this was a car conversation. I'm assuming, I don't know, that Quanell X and Brittany had, where Brittany was supposedly done told Quanell the deep down depths. I'm assuming, because if not, I guess we're going to be seeing some text messages or some emails or something soon, Facebook, social media postings, if that's how it went. So I was just like, okay, all right, now let me show that to the people. I just thought that was important to show that her own friends are turning against her. Her own friends are not believing her story. So now let me go to this other part. So I'm just randomly throwing different things out there at y'all, letting you know about some things that maybe you have not heard of. There is a YouTuber by the name of Tanika Nikki's News and More. I'm going to repeat it. Tanika Nikki's News and More. Tanika Nikki's News and More. Tanika Nikki's News and More. She's a YouTuber. I'm telling you, because this is where I'm getting some of my information from. So y'all better go check her out, because she did an interview with Brittany Bowen's sister. So I'm assuming this, I don't know, I think this is her half sister or something like that. The girl Natasha. And this is the Natasha who I think with Brittany made the GoFundMe page. You know, when their father passed away. And if y'all been checking me out when I've been doing my videos, we discussed that. I showed you the GoFundMe page. If y'all want to see that video, you can go check it out. It's the video with the father on there. You'll see it. Just pay attention, people. But anyway, interviewed her. Now, now there was a two-part, because one part, I think the beginning part of the interview, she's mentioning the interview. Tanika Nikki is mentioning the interview. You hear some parts of Natasha, which she's very upset with her sister Brittany Bowens, but she also gave Tanika Nikki text messages between her and her sister Brittany. So if you have not seen those text messages, you definitely need to go over there and check that out. But there was a few things I want to talk about. The first part of that, where the text messages that Tanika Nikki's News and More is showing the text messages between Natasha and Brittany Bowens. There was a certain thing that was said. Natasha made a comment. So y'all got to go over there and check it out, because if I'm not mistaken, it's at the beginning of that video when she calls her back, because Tanika Nikki had already interviewed her and was then saying to her that I forgot to ask you some questions. So I don't know what order I'm saying this in, but anyway, she says to Natasha, Brittany Bowen's sister, says that Brittany Bowen's mother dropped Brittany off on Saturday, May 4th at home. And she said that she remembers that it was around 6:40 something, because I think she said that the mother called her or texted her or something and told her that she had just dropped Brittany off at home. Now, she said that raised red flags for her, because when she heard that Darion Vince had went inside the hospital at about 7 o'clock, because remember, he said that he had woke up from in and out of his consciousness from Friday, May 3rd to Saturday, May 4th around 6 o'clock. That's when he woke and had awoken from his consciousness, being in and out of conscious, whatever, at about 6 or 6:30, whatever the time, okay? And then he found the rat and somebody picked him up on the side of the road, because I originally thought he said he walked. That's what I thought it had originally said, but somebody gave him a rat. It was about 7 o'clock. So she said when she heard that, she was like, wait a minute. She said, red flags. She was like, my sister just got dropped off at home about 15, 20 minutes earlier. And then 15, 20 minutes later, he so called is going to the hospital. He gets a ride now to the hospital. She said that made her suspicious. And I was like, whoa, first time I heard that. First time I, y'all need to check it out if you have not heard what the sister said, because the sister ended up bringing up some things. She also says, she mentioned some things about Brittany knowing that her daughter was at home. She said, just like we all was like, just like how in the world with a 4-year old, you don't know what a 4-year old, they're hyper, they falling all around on the floor, they're loud, they're always asking for stuff, mom, mom, mom. So how do you not know not how did you not even know that, girl? A lot of us was not even believing that. But the sister and Nikki, Tanika Nikki, they go into that and they make some really good points about that. Matter of fact, let me, for the sake of also promoting this YouTuber and just playing a little bit of it. This, if I'm not mistaken, this will be the second part of the interview. So this is the second part, not the part that I was originally mentioning. And where is this? I'm looking for. Bam, that's what I was looking for. Okay. And you can see it right there, Tanika Nikki's News and More. So you can go and like and share her video and subscribe to her. Y'all should definitely go and check her out, because she is obviously following this MALEAH Davis situation.
You think that Quanell has her best interests at heart right now? Yeah. Right. I feel like Quanell is holding information, and I don't think it's conducive to what the situation is. It's about finding MALEAH. It's about getting the truth out, and it seems like he's on some kind of me fest. Like, you know what I mean? He wants to be the one to dictate how and when and all this kind of stuff. Do you get the same vibe? Like he's not 100% about what's going on and more about self? Oh, so he just came out and lied after knowing exactly. Right. 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 All right. I do have one question that I've been dying to ask someone close to the situation. Remember how it was shown that the pictures last seen of MALEAH showed her following behind Darian, not close, not him holding her hand, not him holding her in regards to probably sneaking her back into the apartment. Like someone, if I was being sneaky, I would be holding the child, or they would be close to me. It doesn't look as though it was done in a sneaky way as far as MALEAH being brought back home that day. When you look at those pictures, do you feel as though MALEAH was snuck into that home? It's also said that it was an hour and a half before or more before Brittany had even left for her trip, or longer. Do you believe that she was snuck in and that it was unbeknownst to Brittany? I'm just thinking. I have 3 children, and at the ages of 3 and 4, they run around. Go ahead. Right. Right. Yeah. or either I need a snack. Right, or after an hour and a half. Yeah, 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 yeah. So at 4 years old, the meaning tell me there's no cartoons, there's no snacks, there's no going to the restroom.
I'm gonna leave it there with this particular with Tanika Nikki's News and More. Like I said, you definitely need to go over there and check it out yourself. Check out the full, because like I said, it's 2 videos. Check it out. Listen to Natasha. That'll help you get a better understanding of Brittany Barnes. I think they made some really good, talked about some things that I didn't know about. And then also the sister confirms, I guess, kind of. This is what the sister says. The sister says that she heard from her sister, Brittany Barnes, that Darion Vince really did take care of the kids, and he was the breadwinner, and he was washing clothes, and he was the one that was cleaning the house, and he was the one that was doing everything, which I guess kind of would confirm what Darion's Vince's father said on his interview, that his son was the breadwinner, was cleaning and cooking and taking care of the kids, that Brittany wasn't doing anything. So I have my own feelings about that. My feelings is, one, he could have been just a really good guy. Then in that case, I don't know what's going on. So then Brittany got something to do with it, and he really didn't do anything then. I don't even know why he's sitting in jail. I guess it just looks bad. But really nothing really happened, okay? Or two, Brittany is playing both sides. Because that's kind of what I think she's doing. I actually think she's playing both sides. Because there was another thing that was said that you got to listen to the interview, that Natasha, the sister, brings up Quanell X. She said, now don't you remember that Quanell X had said that Brittany, and this was even said during the interview that Brittany Barnes was sitting there. That's why her sitting up here talking about that she was done with Quanell X, because Quanell X, and she feel like he ain't that girl. He ain't there for her, or he's saying stuff that ain't really on her. Girl, he been saying these things. He said, talking about that you didn't say that stuff. I never said those things. You sat right there while he said it, and you didn't say anything. He said that there was some text messages, and there was a dispute between both of y'all before you left April 30th to go out there for your father's funeral, which was May 1st. And there was some text messages, and he said there was some text messages with something with a guy, sending some pictures and stuff with a guy. That's how the story was originally told to us, what, a week or two ago? But Natasha, Brittany Barnes' sister, said that first of all, she is the one who got the information from Brittany, and Brittany, her sister, told her that, yeah, those things happened, the text message and stuff, but it was a girl. She said, so that's how she originally heard it, that it was some text messages and some stuff sent, but it was with Darion Vince and a girl. She said that when she heard this stuff, she took that information and she called Quanell X and she told him. And she said she told him it was a girl. So she said that when she heard then Quanell X out there speaking and interviewing stuff, and him mentioning it was a guy, she said that she got mad at Quanell X. Now, I didn't quite understand why she got mad at Quanell, so I didn't fully get that part. I was like, why, your sister ain't playing the sides? Maybe she told you it was a girl, but then for whatever reason telling him that it was a guy, maybe because she wants to make the story seem a certain type of way, because just for the simple fact, she's not saying too much. She ain't really said too much about Vince. Y'all, people done asked her during the interview, do you have anything that you want to say about Vince? No. About Darion? No. Girl, no. You ain't got none, really, nothing. You really ain't got none, just nothing. Should nothing be stopping you from speaking? You are supposed to be MALEAH's voice. You are the voice for your daughter, since your daughter don't have a voice, and you can't even, girl, bye. So I'm like, she probably playing both sides, which, I mean, obviously, because look at her friend LaAsia. LaAsia was just sitting up there on Facebook Live, totally had your back, was going against everyone else, and felt like everyone else was stupid and saying dumb stuff, and didn't understand the purpose of everyone else. Now, all of a sudden, a day or something later, she hear what Quanell X has to say, and realize that you've been talking and there's some things that is missing out of your story. Basically, Brittany, there's some things that's missing, and people, it's not going. Your own friends is bagging out of this whole thing. So yeah, she mentions that part. So that was interesting because haven't heard of that. And yeah, she said that she even heard from her own sister that Darian was the cleaner and the provider and everything else. Like I said, could be because she ain't said nothing bad about him. And now with the sister saying, like I said, you gotta go check them interviews out. Again, I'm gonna say her name. What is she called? Tanika's Nikki News and More. Based on what the sister said, Brittany Bowens had just got dropped off at home about 15, 20 minutes before Darian was being dropped off at the hospital. So did Brittany drop him off, or did Brittany have a friend or somebody drop him off? Did Brittany know that he was being dropped off? Because based on what Quanell X said, he wasn't answering her phone calls or something. And, because she was trying to figure out why he had not picked her up from the airport. And something else that I noticed too from them airline from apps. So after I watched Tanika Nikki's News and More, the video where she was showing the text messages between Natasha and her sister Brittany Bowens, I noticed that she had pictures of the airline ticket things too in there. So I guess those are the ones that Brittany sent to her sister during their text conversations. And I didn't see the return flight part on there. So I'm interested in the return flight part. Okay, so yeah, now we seen when she left. She left on the 30th, and we seen 11 something AM is when she left, and she had a layover, didn't make it there to about 6 or whatever time in the evening. So now I'm interested in knowing what time did she make it back on Friday, May 3rd. Aren't you all interested? Because that part of the ticket wasn't shown. So Brittany didn't send that part. I'm pretty sure that maybe the investigators, whoever seen it, but I ain't seen it. Not yet. I haven't seen it. But anyway, so was there two things I was going? There was an audio that I was going to play for you. Do I have that audio readily available? Because I don't even know where I found the audio at. I don't even know. Let me see. Can I find that audio? There was an audio that I was going to play you that is actually on my Facebook page. That's why I said, people, majority things that I'm talking about or whatever is I'm posting it on Facebook. So make sure you go follow me on Facebook at Geneva's Closet. Again, go follow me on Facebook at Geneva's Closet. But listen to this clip. This is Quanell X, community activist Quanell X, who is no longer working with Brittany Bowens because she says she don't want to be bothered with him because he's a pathological liar. He said that he don't want to be bothered with her anymore because he feel like there's some things that she's withholding and she's not being completely truthful about the whole MALEAH Davis and what she knows about her ex-man, Darian Vance. So I just want you to listen to this.
The disappearance of MALEAH Davis is one that has not just shocked us here in Houston, but it's a story that has touched people around the country. Today, I sat down with Quanell X to see where the investigation currently stands. Since this case has reached the public, many people have had their own theories as to what happened to MALEAH. Journalists have a social responsibility to make sure we are keeping the public updated with factual and accurate information. What better way to do that than to go straight to the source itself? Here's what Quanell had to say in regards to where the investigation currently stands.
The investigation is moving forward, and there's some serious things happening behind the scenes to make sure that those directly involved with the cover-up and he that was directly involved in what I believe is the death of young MALEAH shall be prosecuted to the fullest of the ability of the law. There's a lot I want to say, but I can't say, because if I say it, then I may jeopardize him being convicted for the crime he actually committed, and I may jeopardize others who've been involved in this that should be prosecuted also for the subsequent roles that they've played in this case.
Let's take a listen to what was said when asked, does he believe Brittany Bowens had a role in her daughter's disappearance?
I don't think that Brittany played any role in the disappearance of young MALEAH. In fact, if you look at the video footage, it will show that she was actually in Boston, in Massachusetts, that she was actually in Massachusetts once MALEAH was still seen alive at the apartment. So How could she be in Massachusetts, but yet the video shows that young MALEAH was still alive with the stepfather?
Now, time for some fact checking. There has been speculation that Bowens never left out of town for her father's funeral. Well, Quanell says otherwise.
She absolutely was in Massachusetts. I looked at flight ticket. We also saw how the tickets were checked in and checked out, because you got to check into the plane. And before you board the plane, they'll check and give you a boarding pass. We saw boarding passes. We saw landing times, leaving times. We also spoke to family, stepmother, etc., and step family members who were in Massachusetts, who were very angry about this case with MALEAH and upset with Brittany, but yet they did confirm that she was there for the memorial service and that she did stay there, come around on the 30th and was there on the 1st and did not leave till the 3rd. So that was confirmed by the funeral home directors there as well as family there, who are still upset with Brittany also about this case.
The rumor mill also reported that Bowens hired Quanell X. He says that's fake news as well. In fact, the family reached out to him about the case, and that's how he got involved. He also said he believes who dropped off Darian Vance at the hospital, but when I asked, he said he was not able to comment on that.
It's a sad situation, but a lot of people failed Brittany. CPS failed Brittany. Judge Lopez failed Brittany and MALEAH, but MALEAH, CPS could have did more for MALEAH and Brittany had they made certain things mandatory for the home, like they do in a whole lot of cases. Didn't do it in this one, but yet the condition of young MALEAH would have justified and warranted CPS taking a more progressive role in this case. They didn't do it. Judge Lopez, when she could not determine who caused these injuries to this baby, Judge Lopez could have made sure that that child was not sent back. And in all honesty, MALEAH should not have been sent back. Not what I know. What I know, Judge Lopez knew too.
Quanell is standing firm that Darian Vance is the man responsible for MALEAH's disappearance. He says he saw evidence for himself that confirms Darian is responsible.
There was evidence that was found that suggests that MALEAH was a victim of foul play, and this evidence was collected from inside the apartment. And I even saw some of the test kits when I was in the apartment of what they were using for scientific evidence, and they did find evidence that suggests she was the victim of foul play. So I am firmly convinced a man who never went to one search, they kidnapped this child from your custody, but you never go to one search. You stop responding to phone calls from the mother, the family. You don't want to talk to anybody on her side of the family. You don't even want to help searchers. You won't speak to police at all. You won't speak to the searchers who are looking for young MALEAH. You choose to block yourself off from everybody. But yet, she was taken from your custody, and yet you claim to love MALEAH.
In closing, I asked Quanell, can he give any information to the public that we haven't heard before? Here was his response.
I want everybody to know everything I know. At the right time, you will know also. But I just don't want to jeopardize convictions in this case. But be patient with me, and I assure you, you're going to hear more.
No matter how you feel about Quanell X, Brittany Bowens, or anyone else involved in this case, one thing we all can agree on is that MALEAH Davis deserves justice.
True.
From the studio, this is Peg.
Absolutely true. 500% true. 500% true. Let me say this, people, and then after I say this, I'm going to show you this last video. Show you this last thing that I feel like is important that I want to show you all. Let me just throw this out here. I personally do not like talking about this MALEAH Davis case. So let's not get this twisted, okay? Because first of all, I have 4 children of my own plus a granddaughter. So I don't like to talk about this MALEAH Davis case. I think it's a sad case. I don't like keep seeing her picture and seeing these things. The only reason why I talk about it is because I didn't believe it from the beginning. Then I became invested in it. No difference than the whole Amber Geiger and Bottomsham John case. Just became interested in it. Felt like that the father was lying, then heard a little, the stepfather was lying, then heard a little bit more. Felt like that the mother, Brittany Bowens, wasn't being all the way honest, just like you. And now, since I am Geneva's Closet talk show host, and I've already been trying to put information out there, anything that I hear of. I try to let you all know because I'm invested. I feel obligated to come on here and let you all know if I hear anything else or if I find something maybe someone haven't mentioned. Just want to let you know what's going on, and then you all let me know, and then we go back and forth with our information. Because that's basically what happens. You all send me things that I probably have not seen before. I go check it out and then show it to the other people. Other people make comments. That's why it's very important to leave your comments. Even if you have information about some things and you don't necessarily want to email me or DM me, whatever, you can leave your comments and stuff and then leave the information in there. That can give it be something for someone else to go and fact checked, and then there go some other leads and information. And what I've also realized is that everything is not either going to be found right here on YouTube or over on Facebook and Instagram. It's really spread out. A lot of things that I find is not even on YouTube. Sometimes I find it on Facebook and Instagram. So if you want to know a lot more about what's going on with MALEAH Davis and this whole case, you can definitely go over there and check some things out on Instagram and Facebook. Go up there in that search menu, type in MALEAH Davis. There is even a MALEAH Davis Facebook group where a lot of information is going on, and there are text messages and things with the friends and stuff that you would never think is going on over there on Facebook. So it's not only over here on YouTube, people. So this other video, I just seen this today. So I'm not sure exactly when this interview took place. When I looked at it, it says 6 hours ago. So let's go to here. And this is coming from HLN News. This is Quanell X being interviewed, and he speaks about Brittany Bowens. And when I heard this is 10 minutes long, we're gonna let this bad baby play out. Because I don't know if you heard it, but you're gonna hear it today right here on Geneva's Closet. So let's get this on and popping, people.
I've talked to MALEAH's mom, Brittany, for countless hours on telephone and in person, spending a lot of time with her one-on-one. And from talking with her and asking her serious questions over and over, I would get some answers, but then answers begin to change. Then I began to ask her a question about, do you know where MALEAH is? Did Darian tell you? There started to be serious hesitation answering that question. And then she would say, well, I think I need to get a lawyer. And I said to her, there is no need for you to get a lawyer, a criminal lawyer, if you don't have anything to hide, if you've done no wrong. I said, your daughter's missing. You want to exhaust every avenue to try to find her. Why would you need a criminal lawyer?
And what'd she say?
She really didn't respond to that. She just said, well, I think I may need to get a lawyer. And that's pretty much exactly what she went to do. And then I explained to her that I would always be by her side until she began to lie to me. And when I explained to her that I found out some serious information about abuse in the home, she first denied it, and then I gave her greater details of what I knew because a source in her family had shared some information with me in confidence. Then Brittany admitted that yes, MALEAH was being physically abused by the stepmother, and that on more than one occasion she did help cover it up. At one point she felt MALEAH needed to go to the emergency room because he had whipped her so bad with a belt, and yet he talked her out of it, saying, I'm not going to take the fall for this. And this happened on more than one occasion. I asked Brittany, I said, did he whip her when she was sick? Also, she was a sickly child. And she said yes.
Did you ask her why she would have ever left this little girl alone with Darian?
I did ask her that. I asked her when I learned that he and her had an argument when she was on the way to the airport and at the airport to go to her father's funeral service in Massachusetts. I asked her, I said, we've learned that you and him were fighting about him sending inappropriate text messages and pictures to another man. And then she said, yes, I have the pictures. And he said, she showed them to me. I said, ma'am, these are graphic photos. How can you leave your daughter with a man knowing he's sending photos like this? He's physically abused your daughter on more than one occasion and asked you to cover it up. You now found out that he was bathing her. Also, a little girl that's not even his bathing her. Why would you leave your child with him? And she just said she didn't know.
Do you believe that the grounds of that argument could have led to whatever happened to MALEAH. What you're saying, that he basically was exchanging photographs, which we have no way of confirming, but she apparently told you this, that there was an argument about these photographs, that could have led to.
I saw the photographs. I spoke to his brother about the photographs. So I saw the phone numbers. They were actual photographs he was sending to another man. And I 1,000% believe wholeheartedly that when Brittany confronted him about it, going to the airport and leaving him at the airport, she refused to respond to any of his text messages. And about an hour later, he was texting her saying, "It's an emergency, it's an emergency, it's an emergency, please call me back." I think he snapped when she said she was not going to marry him, and exposing him as possibly being gay, that he physically snapped on a child that he had done this to before.
I want to reiterate, Brittany Bowens has not been charged with anything. We cannot confirm, Quanell, what you are telling us, but it is the first we're hearing about this. What do you believe happened to MALEAH? Where do you think she is?
I believe that he snapped because of the argument that him and Brittany got into when she was headed to the airport. And I think the impact of her challenging him about being gay and finding that information out, that he physically abused MALEAH again because she was there. And he had secretly brought her back home. I believe he snapped on MALEAH. And I believe that he took her body and put it somewhere. And none of us knows exactly where that is.
Was Brittany different with you than she was in front of the cameras?
What was weird about Brittany, this is what was weird. And I want you to go back and research every ounce of footage that you can find in this case. She never once, not once, said one bad thing or one bad word about the stepfather, Danny Banks. Not even when police charged him with tampering with the corpse, meaning her daughter's body. Not one angered word, one emotional word, one bad word, not one. And that's one thing I never understood.
Did you ask her about
This man won't return your phone calls. He won't respond to your text messages. He won't even meet with you. And now he's been charged with tampering with a body, meaning your daughter, your own child, and you have nothing angered in you to say at all, publicly or privately.
Did you ask her that?
Absolutely, I did.
And what'd she say?
She just kind of shook her head, said she didn't know why. It was always,
I know, right?
I don't know why. Why'd you leave your child with this man when you knew these things? I don't know why. Why are the things I'm getting out of you now, and then we have found out that you're confessing to us about this abuse? Why did you tell the investigators this? That would have been helpful for them in their investigation. I don't know why. I don't know why. It was always, I don't know why.
Once again, I say
like
she has
that
not been
interview.
charged with any crime, but have you notified authorities about what you know?
I did after my last meeting with Brittany, and what she said to me that was so compelling that pretty much backed up some of what we had already discovered in this investigation. From a community perspective, it solidified what we kind of already thought happened. And that came from a last conversation I had with her. After that, I immediately went to the district attorney's office and met with him and told them everything that I knew.
How did they respond?
It was a productive meeting.
Are they going to look into these things?
I can't speak for the DA's office. I think they have to speak for themselves. But I find it absolutely impossible that they're not looking into it.
Was Brittany being questioned in the disappearance of her daughter? Did police pose any questions that led you to believe that they may have similar questions surrounding what she knew and when?
Based on what she told me, investigators asked her, because on the second visit, I instructed her to go down. I spoke with investigators, said she needs to share some things with you that she has not shared with you. And when she came back from that meeting with them, based on the line of questioning that they gave her, they are doubting her story also.
Where do you think investigators are with finding out where MALEAH is?
I think a lot of it is dealing with blood testing from inside the home. But I think that we're all doing that. Everybody's doing everything we possibly can. People have come into the city from all over the world to help volunteer and look for MALEAH. Everybody's looking. Everybody's following all kinds of leads. And I think they're doing the same thing. They're just following whatever lead they get, trying to find out where's MALEAH.
Quanell X, we really appreciate your time. Please keep in touch with us. Keep us apprised to more developments, because this is new information that we're learning directly from you with direct knowledge of Brittany Bowens. We appreciate your time. I'm going to bring in HLN legal analyst Joey Jackson. Joey,
okay, now let's listen to what he got to say. Listen to this.
Reaction.
I have to tell you, Lynn, what a riveting interview we just witnessed right now, with the addition of information concerning a motivation, concerning potential sexual orientation and how that played into it, concerning the unclean hands of the mom and what she may know that she's not divulging, concerning what he believes that is Quanell X, the activist that has been assisting the family in terms of what happened. And I mean, you really ferreted out additional information that was not now known. Obviously the big unknown is, where is that beautiful girl that we're looking at there? And we obviously hold out hopes that she's alive, that she's well. Certainly the evidence is seeming to speak otherwise. But boy, I mean, in terms of learning that he may have snapped, and as a result of that, and then even learning in terms of why they may be waiting here, and that is waiting for forensic analysis in terms of the blood in that home and matching it to her, and really determining whether or not what we believe is true actually is.
And Joey, I say again, Brittany Bowens has not been charged with a crime in MALEAH's disappearance, but based on what you just heard there, and what investigators have been informed, what we learned, do you think that she might? The fact that she knowingly left her daughter with this man?
I think all options are on the table, and I think that certainly as adults we cannot, what we call in law, recklessly endanger the life of another. That is, put a child in jeopardy when we know the past history of the person with whom we're leaving the child, when we know the inclinations of the person with whom we're leaving the child, where we know the proclivities and really what the person is all about that we're leaving a child to. And not only that, that speaks to one set of charges that she could face, but what I'm more curious about is what her knowledge is. Really, does she know more than she's letting on? And it appears to be, again, we're just drawing inferences here. I don't want to make any aspersions, cast any aspersions, or make any presumptions, but boy, the information that Quanell X has just told you, and we have every reason to believe that he's credible, that his heart is in the right place, he has assisted and worked with his family. And I think what's even more, Lynn, is that he went to the prosecution after this and said, look, I'm going to tell you all I know. I would not be surprised in the event that she was charged, and I would not at all be surprised in the event that the current charges against his stepfather are upgraded.
Huge development here. We've just learned right here on the story. Joey Jackson, as always, great to have you. Thank you so much.
I've talked to MALEAH's mom, Brittany.
So basically, in a nutshell, what do you think of that? Huh? I'm gonna put this back up here. Let this while I'm continuing talking. Yeah, didn't I say that in that video that I just did the other day, my last video that I did? That's what I really think is going on with Brittany, that she really don't want to say too much, because she know the more that she talks and says what she knows and more about Darian and what was really going on over there, it's going to make her look bad. And she's worried about going to jail. So we would think that the ultimate goal would be her daughter, but I think that she's more concerned about herself than her daughter. But then again, was she kind of already like that? The reason why her daughter was already going through certain situations, the fact that CPS had to get involved, the fact that she fell and she hit her head, and the mama said that's what the mama said. She fell and hit her head on some marble table. Whatever. Your children had to be taken out of your home. So were you already focused more on yourself, or maybe Darian or some other situations more than your children? So not totally surprised if you couldn't be a voice for your daughter when she was alive, you couldn't be there, then what in the hell make us think that you're going to be a voice and be there for her when she's not around, especially if you got something to do with it? She ain't finna say nothing. She worried about going to jail. You heard what they just said. Recklessly endangerment. And that's what she's worried about. And that's why you need to go over there And check out, like I told you, Tanika Nikki's News and More. Check out them text messages. Because when you see them text messages, the way she's talking in there, you don't even want to talk to your sister about stuff. You mad at your sister because your sister questioning you. You like, why are you questioning me? I've been going over this story over and over again. I done told it already. Girl, your daughter missing. Ain't you concerned about your daughter? If you have to speak this story 1,000 times to 1,000 different news media and explain it to me and the family and everyone else so we can figure out where MALEAH at, then do what you gotta do. She too worried about people exposing her information. You know what else? Something I was thinking about. Don't you remember when I told you? Like I said, you're gonna have to go over there and watch some YouTube videos I just told you about. Don't you remember when I told you that the sister said that Brittany told her that Darian Vince was sending text messages to a girl, and then Brittany, then all of a sudden, the sister said that she heard Quanell X saying it was a guy. How we know that it really was not a guy, and she just told her sister that it was a girl because she was embarrassed. But then Quanell X is saying he's seen actual pictures, like he's seen the text messages. So I don't know if the sister actually seen the text messages. I'm assuming she didn't, because this would have been after the fact, and y'all been talking on the phone after the fact, so everything been going through text messages. But Quanell X said that he actually seen it, and the phone numbers and stuff. So maybe it was really a man, but she told her sister it was a woman. I mean, ain't no telling. Like I said, she is the one that's holding a lot of key information. True enough, Darian can tell us where Brittany is at, but Brittany, she is definitely withholding a lot of information. Did you hear what Quanell X also said about the bathing situation? That Brittany admitted that Darian was bathing her daughter, and then that's why I said deep down inside, at the end of the day, when no one is around, her family, whatever family and friends is there to pacify her and be like, oh, I know you didn't know, everyone is just going so hard on you. She knows. Believe me, she going through her own thing deep down inside, in addition to being scared about going to jail, because that may be the top thing. She's just scared about going to jail. Then maybe her daughter and everything else falls up under that. She knows that something happened. So whether she has something to do with it, as far as she killed her daughter, she knows where her daughter is at, she helped somebody kidnap her daughter. It's like I said in my last video, I don't necessarily think that has anything to do with it. It probably was some conversations that she had with him about taking her daughter a bath, and she didn't necessarily like it, and he, and she allowed it to happen anyway. And remember what Quanell said about Darian beating MALEAH with a belt, and it was really bad, and Brittany had that conversation with him. This is what he said that happened, because okay, I'm just telling y'all need to go over there, check out them. Listen to, I just played you what Quanell X had to say. You done already seen the interviews with Brittany and Quanell X. Go over there and check out the YouTube video with the sister Natasha and those text messages. You put everything together and see how you feel about the situation. But there is one last thing that I wanted to throw out. One last thing. Just because there are tons upon tons of people, either from Texas or not from Texas, that don't, either people that have already dealt with Quanell or done heard about Quanell X, because people done put messages, left comments saying, I don't trust him, or he can't be trusted. So just for the sake of that, I don't want to make it seem like that everything that he's saying is truth, is probably truthful. This is how I feel about the situation as far as Quanell X. Quanell X probably has not always been the best or most legit community activist. So yes, that could probably be true. And maybe he has done some things in some cases that he should be sued for, or he should, people should be upset about. But with this particular case, unless he done sat here and went on news and all of this other stuff and blatantly lied, and Brittany Bowens never told him these things, then I don't see what he did wrong as far as this case. I mean, I definitely see a person wanting to bag out of it at some point and not being bothered. I mean, y'all would have to give me a little something more. I mean, what did he not? He was supposed to, because I seen something about a lawyer. Did he not get her a lawyer? He's supposed to get her a lawyer. Well, I don't even know. Get her a lawyer for what? She ain't even saying nothing. What's she gonna tell the lawyers? And then plus, if you don't fully believe somebody and you feel somebody withholding information, and before this whole her talking about her saying that Brittany saying that Quanell is a habitual liar, before all of that, like I said, he was already out talking about her, saying certain things. In my opinion, throwing her under the bus. I don't know if he was knowingly or unknowingly doing that, because he could have just been trying to speak the truth. Because like I said, at the end of the day, this whole thing's supposed to be about MALEAH. It ain't even supposed to be about, worrying about covering up anything for Brittany, because Brittany's supposed to be singing. She's supposed to be singing to the sky and letting the whole world know whatever she can let know. That's what it's supposed to be about. So, I don't know if anyway. But let me just go, because I found this video yesterday, and I don't know if I'm going to play this video or I'm just going to let you know the name of the video, and then you all can go and check it out. Do I still have it on here? Let me see, because it was a video. It's victims of MALEAH Davis' mother. Let me see if I can just find it right quick. Let me see if I can find it. And then, so these are victims of Quanell X, because that's basically what it is. And this is coming from Planet of the Fakes. Planet of the Fakes. Okay, wait, is this it? Okay, here go Planet of the Fakes. Let me turn this on so then you all can see what I'm doing. So this is Planet of the Fakes. And where's the video that I was talking about? What is it called again? Victims of MALEAH. Wait, how many pages is it? Good grief. Is this the... Okay. Do I see it? Can I find it? What did the beginning part look like? It had the people faces on it. Okay, what is it called? Yes, the Planet of the Fakes, victims of MALEAH Davis' mother. Can I type that in? Okay, bam, here we go right here.
I kept trying to call him and get in touch with me in Lake Charles. So the first time we got together, it was supposed to be March 8th at this foundation house.
So he went to the jail. He went to go meet him, Charlie Bradley. And the reason why we wanted media attention was because the DNA evidence came back that said it was not my husband. So from his crimes that they are charging him.
Okay, so let me just say this right quick. These are victims because they have it titled as victims of MALEAH Davis's mother. Spokesperson speaks out against him allegedly. This is really victims of Quanell X. So these are supposed to be allegedly victims of Quanell X. These ladies are saying that he was asking for $3,500, and he was saying that, this particular lady is saying that she just wanted media attention because her husband was wrongfully convicted and sitting in jail. And she said that he asked for $3,500, and basically her media attention just ended up her being on the news, and she didn't feel like that was good enough. And so it's different women. Let me see, can I take it back for a little bit? Not going to let it play for a long time, but just so you can get the, because people say that Quanell X isn't a good man. So,
Because we wanted media attention. We didn't need representation or anything like that. We wanted media attention, and he told me that he would charge me $3,500 to help get media attention. So he was selling Fox 26 News media to us to be able to be represented, or not represented, excuse me, but to be interviewed.
I reached out to him for assistance with a legal matter, thinking that he could help me. So when I called him and explained the story, the situation, and asked him, could he help me, he told me yes, but he could not do it for free. So I basically was like, okay, how much is it going to cost? And he told me $3,500.
When I first contacted Quanell X, it was in December of 2015. I assumed he was a lawyer, so I texted him and then I emailed him and he called me right back. So when we got on the phone and we were talking, so I asked Mr. Quanell if he was a lawyer, and he told me yes. And I told him it was a custody case in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Could he help me? And he told me yes. So he said the first thing that he would need from me would be $7,500. And how soon could I get it?
So I said, okay, can you meet with me to kind of, explain what, you would be doing? So he came over the next day to my house and spoke with me and my mom. And he was basically saying that because the type of crime that my brother was involved in is like an organized crime ring where it was other people involved. So he was saying that he was going to go and speak to the other inmates and ask them how they knew my brother, to try to kind of, see if they would be lying about something.
So I told him, give me a couple of days and I would get back to him. So I wrote him a check in December of 2015 for $7,500 for a custody case in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
No, he said, give me $1,000 first, and then I will go talk to your husband. And then I said, well, you go talk to my husband first, and then we'll see.
And so I
Okay, I'm gonna leave it there, people. So yeah, you're gonna have to check this out yourself. Again, this is who is this? This is Planet of the Fakes, right here on YouTube. Planet of the Fakes. You can go and check them out. This is victims of MALEAH Davis's mother. Spokesperson speaks out against him allegedly. And yeah, so if you want to have both sides, if you for whatever reason feel like the Quanell X has done some things to Brittany Bowens, because Brittany Bowens, in my last video, she did make a mention about, yeah, that's why you being sued. And I'm just like, well, you the one got him speaking for you. So did you know he had been sued before, or are you just finding that out now? So you're trying to throw that in there to be like, and you're a liar and you being sued. Well, girl, you not being sued, but they said something about some reckless endangerment. So you might be a little bit worried about that while you're talking about Quanell. Anyway, people, please make sure you comment. Leave your comments. Any information you have, make sure you leave that down there. You all be having really good things to say. Sometimes the things you say I haven't even thought about before. I'm like, you know what? I hadn't even thought about that. That's really good. I'm telling you, people, you are a bunch of geniuses. Please make sure you like and share this video and subscribe right here on YouTube to Geneva's Closet Talk Show. And like and share this, like and subscribe to share the video. And you can email me at genevascloset22@gmail.com. And you can also follow me on Facebook right there, people, at Geneva's Closet. Because most of the time when you don't see me over here on Facebook, on YouTube, I'm right over there on Facebook. Again, leave your comments. Tell me what you think about everything, people. Because this MALEAH Davis case is something. More and more goes on. Hopefully we'll get some better information and finally get down to what has happened to MALEAH, because I believe that even though we are hoping and praying that she's still alive, majority of us feel like she's not. Am I right or wrong about that? Tell me what you think, people. Have a fabulous day. I'll talk to you later. Enjoy your Friday. Bye.